Hey everybody, Al Franken here with another one of my award-winning YouTube videos. If you like these so far, and you probably have, unless you're one of the people who tune in because you just hate me, or if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so you'll know whenever a new one is coming out. Now, I don't know about you, but I loved Joe Biden's address to Congress last week. His agenda is remarkably ambitious. It's as if at some point he just said to himself, you know what? Why don't we just do the stuff we all know we should do but haven't done? Let's rebuild our infrastructure and do it in a way that addresses climate change. Early childhood education, because all the data show that kids who get early childhood education are more likely to graduate high school, go to college, and get good jobs, and far less likely to go to prison. Childcare, so parents have a safe, nurturing place for their child if they have to go to work. And let's make sure that we adequately fund every kid's K-12 education in every neighborhood in the country. Free community college, investing in cutting-edge science and R&D, expanding the ACA so that healthcare is a right for every American like it is in the rest of the developed world. These are all common sense policies, and yeah, they cost a lot of money. But they're also the kind of things we really can't afford not to do. Raise taxes on the rich and the very affluent, and make corporations pay their fair share. Now, Mitch McConnell did not like Biden's speech one bit. This is what Mitch said the next day on the Senate floor.
This administration wants to jack up your taxes in order to nudge families toward the kind of jobs Democrats want them to have in the kind of industries Democrats want to exist.
Well, I guess if you count tens of thousands of construction jobs retrofitting buildings to make them more energy efficient, yeah. Or how about the jobs replacing lead pipes with pipes not made of lead so our kids don't get brain damage? Shame on me for wanting people to get paid to do that job. Mitch goes on.
With the kind of cars Democrats want them to drive.
Okay, if you mean like electric cars with zero emissions, there are like 10 models of electric SUVs, including the Ford Mustang that starts at $46,000. They're developing electric pickup trucks. And you will give up nothing in looks or performance unless you really love the sound of an internal combustion engine, in which case they can probably program those sound effects for you. Mitch continues.
Democrats want them using the kind of child care arrangements Democrats want them to pursue.
Now, actually on that one, it's really only if parents want that option, which, by the way, most Americans do. Why? Well, okay, keep listening.
These plans aren't about creating options and flexibility for Americans. They're about imposing a vision. And instead of encouraging work and rewarding work and helping connect more Americans with opportunities to work and build their lives, this administration is working overtime to break the link between work and income.
Okay, Mitch, that one is actually so wrong, it's embarrassing. You see, without question, the number one reason folks want reliable daycare is so they can have the flexibility to go to work and know that their child is safe and well cared for. Mitch, you might just as well have said,
I'm completely out of touch. It's almost as if I haven't talked to a normal person in decades.
Now, that was the day after Biden's speech, but right after the speech, My former Senate colleague, Tim Scott of South Carolina, gave the Republican response.
But our nation is starving for more than empty platitudes.
Well, he's certainly right about that. Politicians should stay away from empty platitudes.
When America comes together, we've made tremendous progress.
Okay, Tim, that is an empty platitude.
And let me say this to the single mothers out there who are working their tails off, working hard, trying to make the ends meet, wondering if it's worth it. You can bet it is.
Okay, that is something you can't say with a straight face after you've said our nation is starving for more than empty platitudes.
The American family deserves better.
Oh my goodness. If you're going to say that, you might as well say we are all in this together and we get to live in the greatest country on earth.
We are all in this together and we get to live in the greatest country on earth.
Okay, that's embarrassing. But let's get to the substance of the speech. President Biden talked a lot about his $2 trillion infrastructure project.
Republicans support everything you think of when you think of infrastructure. Roads, bridges, ports, airports, waterways, high-speed broadband. We're in for all of that.
Well, that's good to know, because when Trump ran for president, he kept talking about his $1 trillion infrastructure plan, but never did anything about it. And what you described, Biden's plan, includes all those things plus tunnels and lead-free pipes and high-speed rail and a modern, resilient, energy-efficient grid that doesn't break down in a cold snap in Texas and that delivers its power from green energy sources like wind and solar.
Less than 6% of the president's plan goes to roads and bridges.
Okay, what happened to the ports, airports, waterways, high-speed broadband that you said Republicans think of? Not to mention all the other stuff I just mentioned.
Experts say when all is said and done, it would lower wages of the average American worker and shrink our economy.
Experts? Experts say Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plans will lower American wages and shrink our economy? Sounds like these experts might be experts in something other than economics. Maybe they're experts in assessing the value of old baseball cards, because I have a Willie Mays rookie card in mint condition.
Infrastructure spending that shrinks our economy is not common sense.
That's right, it's not common sense. Maybe they're experts in retrieving sunken ships or refurbishing furniture from the Elizabethan era. I'd say anything other than the effect of building infrastructure on the economy. Now, inevitably, the one black Republican in the Senate would get to race.
I have experienced the pain of discrimination. I know what it feels like to be pulled over for no reason, to be followed around the store while I'm shopping.
Boy, that is terrible. And I saw it with my own eyes. It was Tim's first week in the Senate, and Jeff Sessions was following him all around the gift shop. Then he came to the topper.
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
Okay, but hear me clearly. It's pretty racist. And actually, most Americans kind of know that. A majority of Americans say being black makes it harder to get ahead in this country. But blacks and whites tend to see things a little differently. In her terrific book, The Sum of Us, Heather McGhee cites a lot of the research about this. Black people tend to cite the obstacles to economic mobility, attributing it to systemic discrimination, having less access to good schools and high-paying jobs. White people are much more inclined to blame these problems on the lack of good role models and family instability. In other words, black people really are kind of to blame. Look, who's more likely to get a job interview from their resume? Shaniqua or Ashley? Demetrius or Steve? The answers? Ashley and Steve. The Spotlight investigative team at the Boston Globe, the journalists who uncovered the Catholic priest pedophile scandal, a few years ago, they did a report on the net worth of black families and white families in the Boston area. White families' average net worth, $247,000. Black families, $8. Okay, that's Boston. Boston's racist. I can tell you one thing. I'm not. In fact, I'm colorblind. When I meet someone, I don't see their race. In fact, when I first met Tim on the floor of the Senate, it did not even register that he was black. All I saw was a Republican senator from South Carolina, so I immediately didn't like him. But then a colleague told me that Tim was the first black senator from South Carolina since Reconstruction. And I looked over, and son of a gun, I see that Tim's black. But is America a racist country? Vice President Kamala Harris was asked that question at the end of last week. She said, America is not a racist country. What's she going to do? The Vice President of the United States can't say America is a racist country, even if she believes it. Here would be my answer. Kind of. Well, I'm exhausted. I hope you enjoyed this week's YouTube video. Please keep watching and leave me a comment below if there are any topics you'd like me to tackle in one of my next videos. Thanks for watching.